Sorry, a friend of mine just posted a message into a chat about the Commanders game that says an Eagles player could literally kill someone on the field and the refs would penalize the corpse. It's kind of how this game is feeling. Yes.
Not recently. About the last 3 years.
It's Rhea that does the official art for Project UWU, right? And if I send like $80 Rhea's away, she would be able to add Nixie and Des to the starting soon screen.
It's already in the process of being made.
Oh, okay.
She has to redesign it because we're running out of space with everybody.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I was just wondering because I was totally willing to throw the $80. Like, let's get this shit.
I threw her 100 because she had just finished yours as I was requesting the new one. So I threw her a little extra and said, "Hey, take your time." She was like, "I might have to redesign it." I said, "That's fine." Last update Draco got for it was that we should have it in February.
Okay, fair enough.
And she did our logo too, right?
She does all of our...
Because I was looking at getting my logo redone.
I was also wondering about the background splash art that we've basically got when, we're all just like sitting around. Right now it's just Draco and Zelo. Are we looking like... the banners. Because, like, I can cover that. Yeah, I have Rhea's V-Gen.
I have her card.
But, like, is that a change that you and Draco feel comfortable doing, or...
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We were just when I paid for those, I was just more worried about the starting soon and getting everyone in for that. But yeah, the splash art could absolutely be updated as well.
Just because now it's not just the two of you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys do want to, like, stay up there as, like, the founders, then that is totally cool as well. Fair enough. Because there's a couple of different things we can do that I think would be hilarious. Because I'm thinking for, like, the banners, it would be all of us sitting at a podcast table, of course. I'm thinking Draco sitting in his spot, being a little grumpy, a little grouchy, kind of like hands folded over the chest kind of thing. Zelo and I yelling at each other from across the table, and then, like, Nixie and Desiree doing each other's, like, hair or something, because that feels like what our conversations tend to boil down to.
I like to think it's either you or I yelling at Draco and Zelo while the other two are breeding that person there.
Exactly.
And podcast room.
Basically,
I was gonna wait for Des, but at this point we're like.
Oh, I think she said she's
Almost
not
10
gonna
minutes.
make
yeah, she said
it.
she's not coming.
Where? I missed it.
I think it was before you sent your link.
Yeah, it was above. My throat burns. Damn, what happened? I don't know. Just woke up. I might have to pass today.
Okay, I missed that part. Well, welcome everyone. Hope y'all are doing great. We are missing the Desi for today, but it's all cool. We can work with it. What else? What was I gonna say? What else was I gonna say? Whose was it? Who's recommended DanDaDan for this one? It was you, Zelo, right?
It was both of us. It's on that list we made of anime that we need to cover because it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't.
I think technically when I wrote it down on that list, I put it under personal recommendations because I didn't care if it got in as a new anime. I wanted to cover this one. Like, holy shit, the spectrum that this anime goes through in terms of mood is wild.
Yeah. It
is the funniest anime you have ever seen until it decides to get serious, and then it'll break your fucking heart.
And, like, might I add, it also covers a wide array of genres.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it is.
I have so many questions with this anime.
Hey, but you know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there before anyone else has the chance to make this joke. It was the perfect Project UWU anime because it focused mainly on dicks.
I mean, it started off with focusing on the dicks, and then we moved to balls.
My boy Okarun could not keep his balls to save his life at one point.
No.
He's still missing one. He's not. I don't think he's ever gonna get that ball back. I think he's gonna be the one
he will.
under forever.
Nah, he got for those that just don't read. Oh well, you know what? I'm not gonna spoil it in case.
Yeah, don't.
You don't want to.
I want to read it.
Okay, then. Nothing. Bleh.
I will say, I appreciate this anime for its, I guess, somewhat equality in nudity time. Does that make sense? Like, between the male and female characters, like, I would say it's an even 50-50 split of time on who's nude.
The fans, well, not even fan service.
It's just funny.
Them somehow them always ending up fucking naked one way or the other.
Yeah.
Okarun naked laying on top of Momo
All right, so
for the whole school to see.
I want you guys to understand. I watched episode
along
1
with the other one.
months ago when it first started airing, and then I watched episodes 2 through 12 this morning when I woke up at noon, right before coming here. It's all fresh and so confusing.
I didn't rewatch the entire series, but I've seen it before. I got to episode 10 on my rewatch.
It's a lot. But
Well, should we preface before we go any further? Trigger warnings. There's
Yes.
a lot of dark
yeah,
shit that happens.
a lot of serious topic, especially when discussing the spirits, and a lot of just
There's
a lot
one in
of
particular that I know.
implication of assault. Whatever assault, it's probably in this bitch.
I know there's one acrobatic silky that I'm going to
Oh
talk
my
about
god!
because I
that
think it was one of the.
Turbo attacks do
I
not
think it was so well done. Like, it's funny, it's action packed, and then it just breaks your heart. And
Yeah.
I have to talk about it. It's.
All right, so then this is our trigger warning for this episode. If you are at all triggered by mentions of physical abuse, verbal abuse, death, sexual assault, rape, etc., this might not be the episode for you. This is probably not the anime for you. You're probably going to want to just skip on to the next episode. This anime, while it does have a lot of funny moments and is honestly one of the most absurd animes out there, is also very heavy with a lot of the things that it touches on, and it does it in a very well done manner. And I think everybody's opinion here, but also, like, if you're at all sensitive to that stuff, then we get it, and just ignore this episode.
To put it bluntly, this anime, like, to do these storylines right, they had to not be afraid to just absolutely go in with the backstories for some of these ghosts, and to do those stories correctly in any anime you do, and it very much did. It goes as far over the line as it can to make these storylines work. It doesn't pull punches. It doesn't turn them into jokes. With that being said, though, let's get into the anime.
Let's go.
All right.
So how do we want to break this down? Do we want to go arc by arc, like go Turbo Granny and the aliens, or episode by episode?
Ooh, it'd probably be easier to do arc by arc than episode by episode.
Okay.
Because there's also a couple things that, like, stretch across several arcs.
Multiple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the aliens. The banana organ aliens. They are across 2 arcs, I think. At
They
least.
are the so they tie into the Turbo Granny arc and the ending Mantis Shrimp slash.
Yeah.
I think it was a Mantis Shrimp arc.
Okay.
I was
By
just gonna
arc,
call
mean
it the water
enemy they're
school
fighting
arc.
in that span of episodes.
Uh huh. All right, I guess let's start with Turbo Granny.
I love
What
her.
a woman. What a catty woman. Am I right?
I'm not gonna lie. So when this anime first premiered, I thought that was like an abridged episode. Because that fucking first line from her is everywhere. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then I watched it, and it was the actual line from the dub.
Is it?
Yes.
What is it? Is
Shit.
it like I'll let you suck on my titty if you give me your pecker or something like that?
I'll let you suck on my
teeth if you let me
if
gobble
I
your
can
dong.
gobble up your
Gobble up your pecker. That's what it was. I just
Not
distinctly
even
remember the
peck,
word
it's dong.
the pecker.
Dong.
It's
Or
dong.
dong.
It's straight up dong.
Okay.
Like, straight up.
Fuck. DanDaDan
That
is...
was like Ghost Stories level of...
Like, this can't be the official, right? But it
Yeah,
fucking
exactly. That's
is.
exactly what it felt like. It's like when the first time I watched Ghost Stories, I'm like, this can't be the official dub. And then you watch it and you're like, oh shit, that was the official dub.
Well, if you watch DanDaDan like dub with the subtitles for the Japanese, it's basically word for word what the Japanese is translated to. So it is above Ghost Stories in that level.
I will say, I definitely didn't expect DanDaDan to be as crude as it is in its humor, which I appreciate. I really, really do appreciate, because it's crude without being,
Like crass.
yes, it's crude without being crass. And the fact that it deals with teenagers also makes it feel more natural, because like, let's be honest, teenagers are crude little shits. I remember being a crude little shit as a teenager, so I feel like it's a really good balance of that kind of crude humor alongside these teenagers trying to be crude adults, but then also being like, what the actual fuck. And then you have our sweet little being, Ken, in the middle of everything, who's like, what the fuck? Stay away from my dick.
And
Oh,
I just
Okarun
want to
was
add in,
going through it.
this is one of the few anime where the male lead and the female leads are written both so well. I can't make it gay. Like, I am here for them getting together. I have no qualms about it. I don't see anybody else working better for Okarun than Miss Sayase. So, boys, you've broke the Fujoshi of the group. It's over. I mean, we meet Gigi later on, but even then, like, I'm not rooting for him. I'm still rooting for Okarun to get together with Miss Hayase. They're just both written so well, and I think that I really hope that romance arc actually goes somewhere. Because I'm also getting really frustrated with this tsundere shit.
What is the funniest part about this is that the author, the person who's in charge of managing the author for DanDaDan, straight up told him, "Hey, I'm gonna have you read, like, I don't know how many. I keep hearing the word like number 100 novels.
Is this the one
Sometimes
that's
it's
like
less.
he sucks so bad at writing women he was forced to read a bunch
No,
of
that was the-
romance?
No, that was that was the Naruto author.
That was the Naruto author. Okay.
He straight up, for the movie of Naruto, like the one where him and Hinata finally get together, he had to go and talk to actual authors that wrote like a bunch of novels, romance novels, to be able to write that properly. But
No, I thought I'm not talk to them. I thought that the mangaka for DanDaDan had to read.
he
like,
did
100 romance novels.
because the manager was like, we can't just make this a very basic shonen. We gotta have something else to be safe. So I'm gonna make sure you know how to write fucking romance. And he read about 100 of those romance novels, and this is the result.
It's much appreciated.
Very
It
much.
definitely is.
It
Because,
gives DanDaDan a lot to work with, besides just all of the punch fighting.
Can we also talk about how well written these children are?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they feel like actual believable teenagers in high school with all of their insecurities and the tsundere and all of that. They feel so real. They
Can we
feel
talk
so
about them
awesome.
looking like children?
Yes,
Looking like teenagers.
absolutely.
Because that's also like a big thing I have with anime a lot of times. It's like, oh, these are teenagers, but also like either they look like they're 10 or they look like they're 37 and there's never any in between.
Mm-hmm.
These look like actual
JoJo's,
teenagers.
we're looking at you.
JoJo's are looking at you.
The
We're
best
looking at
part, and I think
Most anime.
what helps push them along as like actual teenagers is that like the fight between Momo and Ken, like she says some horrible things, and you get to see the internal battle where she's like, I know I was wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. I shouldn't have said what I said, but I said it. Like you get to see those internal struggles that teenagers have where they're like, I know I was wrong, but I don't know where to go from here.
And then you get to see them growing and learning from those experiences, and as teenagers do, become adults. And it's so nice to actually have an anime about high schoolers feel like an actual anime about high schoolers, even though we've got one of these kids that turn into a fucking demon, and then you have another one of them that has psychic powers, and you have all of these big battles and shit going on. They're not like, they're not pseudo adults. They're actual fucking teenagers.
Yeah.
They're not like wise
Like, you get to
beyond their
see-
years kind of situation.
Yeah, because there's even that one time when Momo doesn't know what to do next. Should I go get my grandma to have her exercise the spirit they were fighting? She doesn't have all the answers. They rely on outside help.
They do. They rely on adult help.
It's so refreshing.
It helped. It's also cool that like in the beginning, while they're still trying to figure out their skills and abilities that they now have, they don't get wins easily. They get thrown around like fucking ragdolls, and they're sort of questioning, how the fuck do we do this?
I
Like
genuinely...
they lucked out, but with go Nixie. You go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I genuinely think like DanDaDan is a very strong contender for Anime of the Year. I actually think I will be disappointed if it doesn't win like the kudos it deserves, because of all of the anime I've seen come out within the past year. I think it's the only one I've seen get the amount of buzz that it has, while also feeling refreshing the way it does. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge like JJK fan. I'm a huge Demon Slayer. I watch My Hero. I watch a lot of the super mainstream shit. DanDaDan is so much more refreshing than any of that shit. And I love those shows, but I don't know. I just think like whatever sauce DanDaDan is cooking with, it needs to be spread amongst a lot of other mangakas.
Honestly.
Absolutely.
And like, to touch on the varying degrees of like trauma and essay that we've got going on in DanDaDan, like, I originally was not going to watch DanDaDan because I had found out what happens in the first episode. Like, I think I had seen like some clip of it like on YouTube Shorts or something along those lines, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna be another like goblin slayer kind of thing. No, thank you. But then hubby had come to me and was like, no, like it's different. It's not Goblin Slayer. It's different. And I was like, all right, fine. And I begrudgingly sat down and watched it with him. And it's not another Goblin Slayer. It's really not. It, like, yes, it does deal and pertain with those kinds of issues, but it's almost done in a way where it feels like the writers were like, you know what, if we're gonna do this for shock value, we're gonna go all the fucking way and shock you and give you a what the fuck moment and not a I want to puke because this is disgusting moment. We have these fucking aliens with drills for hands that are like, don't worry, this is going to be pleasurable and da 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 da.
And drills for penises as well.
Yeah.
Aren't they about to cut the shit off of okarun, and it came out like from the penis zipper? Like I looked at it so confused. I'm like, why the fuck was that there?
I just remember when the mantis shrimp thing, the drill penis came out and went into his brain, and I was like, good god! And then the thing was like, it felt nice, and then he like evolved, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He literally came into the other guy's brain.
And it's like, this show does, like, in my opinion, this show does shock value well. It does shock value to its truest. It's like, we're not going to shock you with disgust. We're going to shock you completely, and it will be a complete and utter what the fuck moment, and you're going to be so confused about what's going on that you won't have time to want to feel like you want to puke your innards out.
Even before those aliens show up, like they shock you at the very beginning of the first episode when you see her with her boyfriend who's trying to force her into an intimate relationship that she doesn't want, and ends up kicking her, like gets violent with her and then breaks up with her because she won't give it up. Like, it sets the tone early, and then it makes you laugh for a little bit, and then it comes back and gets serious.
And
yeah, can we talk about the glow up our boy okarun goes through?
oh my god, that new hairstyle, so good for him.
I like the perm better.
Shut up. You would like the perm better. Leave that
It was
boy
a line
alone.
from the show, Nixie.
I know. Trust me, I watched it today, alright?
I know, but you're getting so violent towards me. I was making the joke.
Blame the albuterol steroids I did right before stream. I'm
Fair
on that
enough.
Nixie roid rage.
I love that.
There were sometimes, like, just talking about his glow up, that I'm like, I wish this dude would get some balls. Oh, wait a minute. That's the plot of the show.
You don't got no balls.
He ain't got
But,
no
like,
balls.
Also, on that point, isn't it refreshing where even, like, we have this strong female character archetype with our main girl here, you know, she's all tsundere and all of that fun stuff. But at the same time, we still have all of these vulnerabilities with her. We still have all of that kind of stuff. You know, the strong female archetype done well, in my opinion. And she's actually strong. Like, in that first episode, yes, she gets her shit kicked in at first by douchebag McGee, ex-boyfriend. But then at the end of the episode, where we get hit with the what the fuck moment, she's the one that comes around and ends up saving Okarun. Instead of the other way around. Because you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, he's got all of these, like, big powers and all of that fun stuff. So he's gonna be the one to come in and save the day. Nah, he fucking craps out halfway through it, not knowing what the fuck to do. And she's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna blow up this whole space. And she does. And she comes through and she finds that strength. And she has this beautiful moment that I straight up thought was gonna be like a fucking magical girl transformation moment. No, she's still in her underwear. But she has this amazing moment of inner strength coming out, manifesting physically, saving the boy and kicking the ass. And then at the end of it all, still having all of those deep insecurities.
If I'm being honest, yes, the first episode is what it is. But it's... This sounds bad. It's kind of nice that the majority of the sexual assault is happening to a boy and not to the main female lead. And that
There is also that.
that sounds weird to say out loud, but like historically with so much anime, it is almost always like panty shots of the main female lead or leads, them always getting groped or sexualized, you know, getting peeped on at bathhouses, all this other stuff. Meanwhile, DanDaDan is like, yeah, they want her reproductive organs, but now they want his penis more.
But like, that's not to
His
say that the
balls.
show is unbalanced, though, either. Like,
No, it's not. Like, there's still like the, you know, the last
in the most
episode.
recent episode, yeah.
Yeah, the very last episode of the season, there are the pervy ghosts. They still exist, but
Yes.
for the majority of kind of the sexual advances happening on the show, the unwanted sexual advances, it is, I don't want to say refreshing because that's not the right word, but it's such an interesting twist to have it happen to one of the male leads and not one of the female leads.
It's
that
a
makes sense.
different kind of perspective on
Yeah.
the type of trauma. Because Nixie's right, we do see that kind of stuff from the female perspective so fucking often. And yes, it is a very much prevailing issue for women around the world. Like, it's not just a North America thing, it's fucking everywhere in the world. But with that being said, that is still something that happens to men and young boys. Like, it is still an issue for young boys, especially within religious sects and religious organizations. So the fact that we do get that male perspective on that type of trauma in this new anime, it's not necessarily refreshing, but it's different. It's appreciated.
Thank
in a
you
sense.
for translating my sick ramblings.
No, I get you. I hear you.
Sorry.
That
boys.
being said, what are the boys' perspective on this?
I would agree.
Go
It's
first.
it's nice to see the not nice, but refreshing to say.
But not refreshing.
There's
but
no good term.
Refreshing.
Yeah, there's not really a good term for it. It feels
You could go the route of
to see it
Relieving?
going
Relief-
both ways.
Yeah.
relieving. That ain't any better
The
either.
relieving isn't any better. No, it's I don't know. It sucks because it's happening, but it's nice that it's not happening only to the women in the show.
That's the
And I
best
don't.
way we can put it.
There's no good way to describe this scenario, but it's a new twist on a very classic trope that happens in like 95%
It's a
of
moment
anime.
of gender equality.
Yeah,
yes.
it's the woke left.
It's the woke left propaganda agenda at its finest.
Oh my
They putting
god.
this woke shit in my anime. How dare they?
I know, how dare men get heard about sexual trauma. But no, like it's so interesting to have like in this episode Nixie goes woke. Brother, where have you been? No, but like it's like to have these very sexually aggressive female antagonists, it's but they're not like horny, and the male protagonists are like, oh, that's kind of hot though, like it's wrong but it's hot. No, like okarun's like, no, that's so fucked up, please leave my penis alone. I don't know.
Why me? What the fuck?
Like, any other anime protagonist besides, I don't know, maybe fucking like Deku would be like, no, no, like they'd be like, no, it should be me. Yeah, come, yeah, let me suck a titty. You can have my dick, I don't care. It's like, Jesus Christ, no. Get the fuck away.
Then I think in that sense of the conversation, I think the word to use would be refreshing. It is refreshing to see that there is actual impact. There is negative impact to the male psyche in that kind of situation. It is refreshing. And it's a refreshing take on the conversation surrounding essay and all of these very vile crimes. Because yes, it is an issue that is prevalent for women. It is a big issue for women. But like I said before, I feel like it is more often than not ignored, the fact that it does happen to men as well. So it is refreshing to have the male perspective coming into this larger conversation.
Yeah.
We get called a bitch if we fucking complain.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, no, it's always like, oh, like, you know, do people go out drinking and then, you know, end up, you know, in situations they don't expect it in. If it happens to a woman, that woman tends to be able to claim assault, and now society has moved past to the point of like, yeah, no, she was assaulted. If it happens to a guy, it's, shut up, you got lucky for the night, right? But, like, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be a double standard. It's nice to have an anime that, like, I think recognizes this double standard, and it plays into it from time to time, right? Like,
Yeah.
Miss Ayame laughing when he didn't notice his balls were, or Ayase laughing when he did notice his balls were gone. Which, like, I agree. How do you not notice that your balls are missing? But, like, you know, it still is treated like a serious thing of like, okay, well, now we gotta get your balls back, right? Like, the him too movement, I guess, in this anime. But it's like, yeah, these things happen, and it's such an and it's done in such an interesting way. It's almost hard to explain, like how it's subverting expectation in this anime. I think that's the biggest thing this anime does. It goes in, and you get in with a scenario you kind of are familiar with from, I would argue, a lot of shonen anime, right? Like, creatures have invaded your school. And you're like, okay, they're back for Miss Ayase again. Or the other pink-haired chick that I don't care for. But then, no, they're there to go get Okarun's dick and balls. And you're like, alright, we're subverting the expectation, and now he's naked. Where are we going with this?
And in the defense of the comedy aspect of it, because, like, I'm sorry to say, but the fact that he didn't know his balls were missing, that shit is funny. That shit is funny. But in order to be able to process traumas, you do have to find the humors in it. The humors are going to be what softens the blow and be able to stomach everything that's going on, which is why when it's like, holy shit, he didn't notice his balls were missing, that's kind of funny. Okay, now we've gotten over the funny part, let's get to business, let's go find this kid's testicles. His glimmering golden testicles.
The funniest shit is watching them look under park benches trying to find his testicle.
Like they're truck nuts.
Like, come on.
My parents are listening
line
to this right
like,
now, probably being like, what the fuck is going on in there?
I laughed at, because I remember seeing the clip of him finally telling Miss Ayase my balls are missing, but I remember seeing it in Spanish, which is just hilarious the way, because take note, this could have been a fan dub, but I heard it in Spanish, and the way he says my balls are like, mis bolitas. She's like, oh, what's missing? Mis bolitas. Just in a way where I had to sit there like, okay, I fucking died laughing with this.
You cut out every time you said your
Yeah,
balls
it's
were
so
missing
high.
in it.
It's so high pitched the way
Dude,
it
your
goes.
high pitched
Mis
voice.
bolitas. There?
No,
It's still cut. I can't do it without it matching. Like, I'm trying to match it, but it's too high pitched. I'll have to see if I even still have the clip saved because it was on TikTok.
In the English dub, I started cracking up because he's just like, I just looked down and was so happy it was back. I didn't notice.
Yeah, my shaft. I just looked at the shaft and not anything else. Which now leads to the question, because there is that scene where he has to take a shit, and he's like, "Don't watch me." But it's like, well, if you're just a Ken doll down there, like, there's nothing to see besides you taking a shit. Like, I'm not saying, I don't know, like, I'm not saying I would be comfortable if I was just like a Barbie doll, you know, down there, and I need to take a shit, somebody had to watch me, but like, I'd be less self-conscious if I knew that, like, my vagina wasn't gonna be seen if I had to drop trow and go. Like, I'd be like, well, it's just a hole in the back, and you can't see that when I'm sitting on the toilet, so I guess this is fine. I don't know.
Fucking
boys.
anime we're talking about. This is the conversation we're having.
Boys, I guess here's the question:
So
is it
good though?
is it realistic
up?
to have your balls and your dick go missing, hypothetically, and then just your dick come back, and you only look down far enough to see just your shaft and go, everything's there, we're intact, baby. Like, you're not
Only
even
in
gonna
the
put like a
winter.
hand down there to confirm.
Only in the winter, Nixie. Only in the winter.
Just like
I get
I
where
don't
he's
know.
coming from. It's that relief of, hey, look, there it is.
Personally, if I were a boy, and trust me, I've thought about a lot of the things I would do if I had a penis, alright? But, like, if I were a boy and my dick and balls go missing, and then I get my dick back, first thing I'm doing, I'm jerking it. Like, straight up. I'm like, it's back, I'm going to the bathroom, I need 20 minutes alone. And just... Because at least, like, and then, you know, like, I assume if you're jerking it, you're touching the balls. You gotta, right? Like...
It's okay, so allow me to give some anatomy of the male body.
I know you don't have to
Unless-
touch the balls,
unless-
but, like, they're there.
No, you don't. I mean, it depends how whatever position you've set yourself in. But take note. Either in the summers, these things are down low, so that they can wobble and flow and breathe. Or it's cold as hell, and they're damn near crawling back into your body.
Well,
Because take note, for us males, the balls they start off in the body. It's once we start growing a bit more that they finally drop.
right, because everybody's female birth, which, by the way, congratulations, everybody in the U.S. on your officially being a female.
So,
But
from time to time, no, I don't notice where my things are set unless it starts to feel like I accidentally got it twisted or it's stuck to my leg. So,
but if it,
Okay.
I mean, like, but if you're jerking it, surely your hands gotta brush at least like the sack a little bit. And if the sack is still there, right, but the balls are gone, you're gonna notice the empty sack.
Okay, wait a second. I have
Okay.
a third-party perspective here, hubby. When you are going to town with Pamela Henderson, do you, on occasion, cop a feel at the family jewels? We're talking about DanDaDan, babe.
Your balls are missing.
So if you were in the situation of Okarun and you got your dick back. So the first thing you do, you go to the bathroom, you go to town with Pamela Henderson here. Would you not notice your family jewels missing? Probably.
it's very hit or miss.
So
They've
the
been
answer to
gone.
the first question was no. No, you do not cop a feel at the family jewels.
Well,
But the second
does it.
question was probably.
Look, I'm not trying to get into my sex life, all right? But like, of what I have done, with my Pookie, the balls are involved a little bit. All right?
A little bit.
So,
But like, you and I, when Jesus
yes, I understand. It's a different.
when we are in those positions, we are in a situation where hopping a feel is not inconvenient.
True, but I'm just like, if your dick and balls have been missing for days, surely you're touching all of it. You're like, you gotta reacquaint yourself with the familiarity of all of life's enjoyment through your dick and ball. Like, it doesn't compute to me that he didn't notice for days after his dick and balls are gone, that only his dick came back and not all of it. I'm sorry that we're spending like 20 minutes on this. But I need to understand. Is this a real scenario?
But I don't think that the testicles would be like the breasticles in this instance, you know? Like, you would notice when your breasticles are gone, and you would very much notice when they are back because of, like, that weight, right? Like, if nothing else, the weight would be the indicator. At first, you're like, holy shit, my back feels amazing, and then afterwards, it's like, ah, shit, not this pain again. But I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, boys, I don't think that the family jewels weigh enough for that to be a noticeable factor.
Do they pull on the gooch at all?
No, not really.
No.
No, but Gunpla did bring up.
From time to time you can feel them shift when you're sitting, but
Right, because like you can accidentally sit on one. But like, Gunpla does bring up a good point. Wouldn't there be extra free space in your underwear?
I mean, if I probably would have noticed faster, because sometimes I just fix my belt line and I lift my pants. I'll feel the pants rub against them. So I'll be like, wait a minute. That didn't feel right. But if he's got perfect fitting pants all the time, then I wouldn't know what he went through.
I guess the next question
I'll
in all
be
of
honest,
this...
I don't know.
Go, Zulu.
I would probably notice because your boy wears skinny jeans.
Ah, they are getting
there it is.
Listen, I'm in fucking sweats 9 out of 10 times, so.
So then I guess the next question in all of this is really, how much of a conscious thought does that part of your anatomy play in your day-to-day lives?
Not much. I mean, aside from like
unless you get G-checked in your groin, you don't really feel much.
Yeah, like it's just passive. You don't really notice them until something happens to make you notice them.
Yeah, either you get tapped, they for some reason twist. There's just a lot that could go on, but for 9 out of 10 times, they're just chilling there.
Now, follow-up question. The reattachment method that Okarun has to go through. Yay or nay?
I would not want to go through that. Like, that shit. I'm shocked the author didn't draw him puking his guts out afterwards.
Well, I mean, like, I don't think it hurt. I mean, it's not like it hurt when they got removed. He had a pain-free castration.
The removing seemed easy, but he did scream after catching his nut back into the sack.
He screamed out of habit. I don't think he screamed because of pain. Because then he was like, fine. He posed with everybody.
Took a minute.
I don't know, Nick. See, like, when I watched that, I felt that. I felt that. Like, I imagined myself in that situation and potentially getting, like, just straight up boxed in the cooter. at a high velocity like that, and that hurt me.
I mean, to be fair, I've been kicked in the cooter before, and it did take me down. But the difference being, it wasn't the nerves, right, that like the cojones have that took me down. It was that the cooter has a hard bone at it for us.
Fair.
That hurt.
Oh my god, we could die if we get hit too hard, by the way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like we go into shock, right?
Yep.
It basically, these things are connected to some nerve that connects all the way up to our brain.
Mm.
So
yes,
if
you're-
it gets overly fucking peaked, our brain just goes, "This sucks. Goodbye."
The ball nerve.
Mhm.
I think it's called like the vagus nerve or something.
No, man, Des is missing out on this conversation. I don't know. The reattachment method, I understand if it did hurt, but of what, and again, I'm also like still recovering from the flu, so my brain is spinning when I was watching this anime again all today. But like when it got attached, I think he like hunched over and screamed. But to me, it didn't necessarily seem out of pain so much as like out of like muscle memory. I don't know. Maybe the nerve was reattaching itself. He was getting restrated.
Yeah.
Well, he
Jump
wasn't.
One.
He wasn't
The soft
castrated,
ones-
so he's
The soft
restrated.
ones leave you wondering if it actually hit, and then it's the moment when you start to feel it in your gut.
I think in this situation with the reattachment method, considering that, like, if the way I see it is that the nerves weren't fully functioning yet, and the hunched over and the screaming was purely on impact with the pelvic bone, because our male compatriots still have a pelvic bone.
Yeah.
As
I mean,
well
he
as
did,
like
hit his dick, like actual like shaft, and then
and like bruising and
Yeah.
like contact with the muscle in the general area, which would cause the hunching and the screaming, but it's not so much of an injury that it would leave him
Des, we're
completely
talking
incapacitated.
We're talking about how we're talking about the male nuts. How if we ever notice if they'd go missing or whatever, how painful it would have been to okarun for recatching it. All that stuff. You're missing out on a lot.
speaking
Oh,
of
no.
nuts,
Yeah,
Reattach.
we're having Project UWU presents health class, the male anatomy.
speaking of nuts, can we talk about how appropriate it is that the group that did the theme song is called Creepy Nuts?
Yes.
Because first off, the DanDaDan theme is a certified banger.
Yes.
That
But
shit's
also-
too catchy.
Creepy Nuts being the band.
And,
So
like,
good.
when I heard that the intro for DanDaDan was like a serious competitor for the new intros of like the newest One Piece seasons, the newest One Piece arcs, I was like seriously intrigued because the One Piece openings are art. They are masterful art. So when I listened to the DanDaDan opening, I was like, damn, I can see why people are making the comparison. This is good.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. Didn't Creepy Nuts also do the Mashal theme? For
I can
season
see it.
1?
I
I've
think
never
so.
seen Mashal, but I'm pretty like I've done that damn dance a bunch of times at the anime bar crawls I go to. I-
bring bong bong bring bong bong bring bong bong bing bong.
Yeah, I want to say Creepy Nuts also did the bring bong bong bring bong bong. Perhaps Mashal will be my next recommendation so that I can watch it. Like I genuinely think like anime theme song of the year with anime of the year. Like I think DanDaDan is gonna pull a JJK season 2 and fucking sweep the anime awards come the spring.
I
If they
would
don't,
not
I
be
think I'm gonna
angry.
riot.
I would not be angry at that victory. DanDaDan would be very well deserving of anime of the year. Definitely.
I mean, like, they've confirmed season 2, right? Right?
What, DanDaDan?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Good
It was
shit.
confirmed after the premiere of the last episode of season 1. Also, you guys are right. Creepy Nuts did the second season opening of Mashal.
Second season. But it's the bring bang bang bring bang bang. Just make sure you eat cream puffs while you watch Mashal. So, why? And also, that feels more like cream puffs are better suited for a DanDaDan watch along.
Well, it's Mash's whole. I've read the fucking thing. That's Mash's like favorite snack, so that's why it's pretty much attached to the Mashal.
Mashal is obsessed with cream puffs. There is nothing but cream puffs in his mind at any given moment.
Mash.
Honestly,
Mash.
that was me in high school.
Mashal is the anime title. Mash is just his regular name.
I've never seen it, nor have I read it.
He is an enigma, but we'll get to that when we react to him one day.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It's not. I'm thinking of cream pies being more appropriate for DanDaDan, not cream pies.
God damn.
The Creepy Nuts song used for DanDaDan won the opening animation award at the Abema Anime Trend Awards.
Let's
And
go.
DanDaDan won Japan Anime Trend Award.
Let's go. I just know that the Crunchyroll Anime Awards are coming up in the spring. I think April is when like the nominations are live. / like you get to see everything that's been nominated for each category. But regardless, I think DanDaDan deserves a good sweep.
It'll be up there. I do not doubt that it will be up there.
I think the only thing it has competing against it that came out this year would be what, Freerin and Dungeon Menchi?
Oh, yeah.
Which I haven't seen either of those either, but
Those are both, like, fucking amazing. I love Delicious in Dungeons so fucking much. That needs to be one of my recommendations.
Did we recommend that one, Zila? Or no, we put Food Wars up, right?
Yeah.
No, Delicious in Dungeon is the one we were talking about possibly doing as a Thanksgiving special.
It was that or Food Wars. We just
Yes.
didn't confirm it.
to be fair, we have 2 Thanksgivings to celebrate in this group.
That's true.
Yeah.
Zilo made the list. He has the
I
list.
have. I do know one thing we got to touch on after we finish talking about this.
Nuts.
But yeah, it's on the list. It is on the list as a possibility for a future episode.
Okay, so
Extend the list. The list is constantly extended.
dun
Sorry.
dun.
Now that we're done talking about the castration and restration of Okarun, what? So we've basically just kind of covered the extent of the fast grandma
Turbo Granny.
Turbo
Okay.
Granny.
Granny.
How do you feel about the reveal of her character that was it Saki had? Momo's grandma?
Character, as
Oh,
in like that
Like
she
the
was
backstory?
The
She was
backstory
trying
of
to-
Of
Turbo
Turbo
Granny?
Appease, yes, that she was trying to appease the spirits of sexually assaulted and murdered young women.
I thought it was a nice way to kind of tie Turbo Granny's like importance to the story, because her living in that tunnel, and then that tunnel being where a lot of young women get assaulted or were assaulted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then her kind of appearing and taking over, because it never made sense to me how Okarun and Turbo Okarun, I guess, jumped through the phone after hearing that ISA was getting assaulted, and then it made sense suddenly. Was like, oh, that's why Turbo Granny did that while controlling Okarun's body, was that she was there to stop another sexual assault from happening.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like a really nice way to tie full circle how all of this became connected in one night.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, there's I like Turbo Granny's character, like as a whole. It just sorry,
The
I
amount
don't.
of personality she has.
Yes, thank you, Draco. She has a huge personality and one that you can understand how she became the way that she became through her quest to stop all of that horrendous stuff from happening. Because after a while, that would corrupt you into becoming a horrifying spirit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked I liked it. I liked it all around. I found it just hilarious with how she now interacts with the rest of them. Especially all the interactions between her and Ayasa, the grandma. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn, though, she looks great.
Grandma. Look,
She's fucking.
there are currently no white-haired, emotionally unavailable anime boys, assuming we are not counting Okarun in his Turbo Granny powered-up state.
Why wouldn't you? He seems completely emotionally unavailable and white-haired.
He is a minor.
Because he is still underage.
Yeah, he's a minor, and also he is ISA's. I'm not getting in between all that. But Grandma, though,
She's got it going on.
she is
Granny got
white-haired and emotionally unavailable. Who knows? I mean, she seems like the type of woman to have an array of strap-ons. I'm not gonna lie. You've seen her swing that baseball bat. She knows what she's doing.
Grandma confused me because the backstory memory, she appeared wholesome and then Grandma comes along and she's hot. Like, what the fuck? Anyone want to jump in on that?
Like,
I
I'll
don't.
jump in on it in a heartbeat.
Just hot. Yeah.
she is. Hot grandma.
I mean, like, coming off of one where we did, like, we did last week, we did the Smash or Pass, and we're like, oh, you know, they're fragile. Nope, this is a grandma. Like, yep.
This is a grandma that fucks.
This is grandma fucks.
This grandma fucks.
Yes, next question.
So
Ifs, ands, or buts.
let's talk a little bit about our character dynamics that we've got going on. You know, we've got Granny and Miss Ayase, we've got Okarun, we've got our pink-haired chickie, we've got Lucky Kitty. By the way, actually, now that I say Lucky Kitty, how fucking bullshit is it that Turbo Granny has basically possessed a Lucky Cat doll, and now the gang, as long as she's around, the gang has basically infinite luck to overcome any situation.
Did they, like, all I know is it was the thing is, we can't genuinely prove if it's true or not with that, because it's more of a, hey, it happens if it happens because she's around. But if it is, that is broken as shit.
No, it is that, because during the fight with the dancer demon chick,
The Silky?
the Silky, that's basically what happened, and Turbo Granny was like, bruh, I'm here, and I'm a lucky cat. They have luck on their side, bitch.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. Weirder things are
I'm not
happening in the
either.
show besides that.
Yeah, that is true.
Anything to keep Turbo Granny around.
True. Turbo Granny is great. I love it.
Like,
Like,
Turbo
if she-
Granny is the comedic relief of this show.
Yeah, also, like, I feel like it's giving her a chance to grow as a spirit. Like, if that makes sense, where, like, maybe she'll find inner peace. Maybe she'll
I mean,
forever be
she's
Turbo
She's
Granny.
kind as hell too, though, because Did y'all watch, like, I don't know if it's in the intro or the outro, where she's, like, jamming out with a cat?
That is the outro.
That is a part of the official story where she ends up finding this stray cat, weak, sick, and alone, and she nurses it back to full health.
Aww.
And the cat pretty much sticks around for the adventure.
Turbo Granny for the win.
Turbo Granny for the fucking win. But yeah.
There's, like, a lot of wholesome moments between her and the grandma.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's talk about the character dynamics that we've got going on in the show. What do we like the most? What do we hate the most? What's going on in everybody's head in regards to that?
So, easily, the thing I hate the most is the introduction of Gigi, because it felt like falling into the romance archetype. It felt like,
I
at least
didn't.
for right now, and I'm sure down the road he'll play an important role, because I know that him and Okarun become friends and all that. But like in the anime, it just felt like he's only there to apply pressure to that romance, because they ran out of ideas on how to keep doing the will they won't they without something intervening. Because like Arya is already like completely in love with Okarun, and he's already like, no, I'm not interested. Like there's nowhere to go from there. He's not just gonna automatically pick up interest. So it felt like a stereotypical romance play to bring him in. Bring back the first love, bring back the love interest that broke her heart, and have him be a better person than he was then. Or at least appear to be.
Even I don't know. I don't mind him showing up, because his involvement in like the love trapezoid we got going on here makes more sense to me than Arya's. I understand. First off, I just don't like Arya's character. Of all the characters that they've given us so far, I was fine with her until she got like she got the powers of the Silky. Then I was like, all right, this is some bullshit. I think that was the only time I've gone like, this is bullshit.
That's the moment where you're like, fuck, she's gonna stick around now.
Basically, yeah. That was like, I was fine with her existence and being like, okay, and I recognize like, okay, she's a character in the main opening sequence, whatever. But she's so fucking obnoxious, and like, she is kind of, for a lack of better term, the Sakura of the group, where she thinks she is, first off, she has pink hair, but second of all, she thinks she is better than, in this case, it's you know, I'm not saying ISA is the Naruto of the group by any means, but like, she thinks she's better because she's more popular but more likable or whatever. But it's super fake, it's super artificial, which is very much how Sakura is in Naruto. But like, I don't like fake people. I don't like it in real life. I definitely don't like it in fiction all that much. Unless they're going to be a villain, in which case they better be damn well written so good.
Yeah.
And I just don't think she's written that well yet. I think she has the potential to get there, but her being like, I'm chosen by God because I'm so fucking beautiful, is so fucking delusional. And any bitch that has built up her popularity that much to be that, like, aware of her popularity that she built, to then be like, I'm God's chosen angel, demon destroyer, is insane. Like, it just does not make sense in my brain how we go from super popular, knows she's super popular, not afraid to backstab people, to I'm also God's chosen angel, warrior princess. Does not make sense to me, in her dynamic. Other than that, the only other thing I don't like is the the like tsundere shit that Ayase has going on. Anytime that like her and Okarun like make they take like one leap forward in their relationship, and then she does that weird tsundere shit, and we're taking 3 steps back. And I don't like that. That's why I don't have a lot of patience for a lot of romance anime. I don't deal with tsunderes well.
No, that's fair. The tsundere trope after a while does get pretty cheap. I'm not gonna lie.
Just talk about your feelings, bitch.
Right?
Outside of that, I everything else is fine with me. The Gigi thing, whatever, like, he's there, but he can now see ghosts, and, like, cool, now we're getting some tension for Okarun, some pressure from Okarun, because so far, I do think the pressure has been on Ayase more about her feelings towards Okarun and less on Okarun's feelings towards her. So now I think we're getting some more pressure on his end. But yeah, Arya existence, just, I dislike it in general.
I hated her personality in the beginning. It absolutely irked me the first, like, I think it was 2 episodes that she was in. Like, she's being a bitch and she knows it. But I did grow to be like, okay, I don't hate this character as much as I initially did towards the end.
Can't relate.
Of the season.
I'm a hater. I'm an Arya hater.
She takes a while.
And I understand why.
To, like...
Yeah, I can completely understand hating her. Like, I still don't like her personality, but I find her character more enjoying at times than I do aggravating.
That's fair. I mean, I will say, like, Gigi is also annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
His weird, like, oh, you're such a little cutie. Like, I'm also not a huge fan of that. But Arya had a huge moment for that growth to show up, as far as, like, she hugged the creature that, like, was basically haunting her whole life without her knowing, and was the main reason for her dying in Ayase, bringing her back to life. And, like, instead of listening to Ayase, who very clearly has all this experience, she's still so fucking delusional that she caught one of Okarun's testes. And it's like, nah, that had to have been God's gift to me from the heavens to tell me I need to become a warrior and kill Ayase. And also, like, she could have had so much character growth in just that moment where she was like, Mama, I love you, and helped that ghost find, or that entity, that silky demon, find peace to move on and not just go into the void and be forgotten. And it was so touching. And then immediately she turns around and goes, fuck Ayase, I'm gonna kill her. And it's so wrong of me to be in love with a demon. It's I don't like it. It's just kind of another, like, dare trope I'm not into.
I feel like because we already have the whole yandere thing going on with Ayase, having her, like, superiority complex and delusions of grandeur and all of that mixed in there, we've already got the yandere going on. We don't need that as well. That just adds another level of conflict that doesn't mesh well with the rest of the series, because the kind of conflict that creates, there's little to no seriousness with it. It's all comedy based, and we already have the comedic relief with Turbo Granny in the mix of everything.
Yeah, I was trying to find the dare, like, archetype for her that she fits, and there's, like, 50 million. I was thinking it was Hime Dare, but that's not quite right. It's close, but it's this idea that she is better than everybody, and so everything should be given to her. I don't know, like, her character just confuses me. I'm sure season 2 will expand on it, just like I'm sure Gigi will get expanded upon in season 2, and it'll start to make more sense why we need these two to help Ayase and Okarun. But man, excuse me, they are not likable. Gigi, for me, slightly more likable than Aria, but like, honestly, I'd be happy if neither one of them existed in this anime past like their specific uses in the plot.
Honestly, yeah.
It just was I just want Ayase and Okarun to be together. I don't need the love trapezoid that I'm sure will get turned into like a love pentagon at some point. Because I'm sure they're going to introduce a third female love interest. That or they're going to introduce a third boy. It's one of the two. Because we do technically have 3 female leads already, so they might introduce a third male lead to even it out. But still, like it's enough. We have enough. Get back to kicking ass and finding that last testy, please.
Honestly though.
I need to see this
like,
man
priorities,
get.
people. Come on, priorities.
I need to see this man get restrained. All right. I don't know what the term is for an uncastration. I'm just gonna keep calling it a restration until.
I'm gonna ruin my Google search.
I'm gonna.
It's the opposite
What
of a castration.
is the opposite of a castration?
World may never know.
Oh, here we go. Synonyms and antonyms. I literally don't think there's an opposite to it. Castration is just castration. There is no undoing it.
There is no going back.
You just
This
are
says
castrated.
uncastrated. Uncastrated is the opposite, according to Merriam-Webster.
Aw, but restration is so much more fun to say than uncastration.
They also say that you can say sexually
Sexually what?
competent.
Ah, you're still you're still intact.
Yep. That was another thing you could say was intact.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Yeah, but there's no like there's no like
the meatballs are still with the
actual
hot
word
dog.
for it because there's no going back once it's done. It's
All right.
not undoable.
When season 2 of DanDaDan comes out, I'm making myself some meatballs and hot dogs. I'll do a watch along in whenever we get our Project UWU server up. It's meatballs and hot dogs night, season 2 binge. We're gonna watch the restration of Okarun, baby. Probably not in season 2, but we'll see. But man, this show's wild. Yeah, there's no going back when it's gone. Well, there is if there's magic involved.
Yep.
That's the end. There's nowhere to go from there. It's just over when it's gone.
Also, what do you guys feel about the conflict between the yokai and the aliens? Like, what's up about that?
I honestly don't know what to think about it. It comes off as if it's gonna sound like the dumbest explanation I can give. It's like when 2 schools go to a field trip to like the same place, and and all the kids start to see each other, and they start to like for some reason care about the school that they rep.
Yep.
It's like that kind of beef. Like you just sit there wondering,
Damn.
where the fuck did this come
That is
from?
a great fucking explanation.
I mean, yeah, Dez is right, Nova. You are an alien, so you should know about the longest beef in your history.
And this goes to the fighting thing we were talking about earlier. My bio is technically Yokai Wolf.
Shit. We have
So,
the beef is real.
no wonder I be yelling at Zelo so much.
Yeah,
That's why they can't get along in Marvel Rivals.
shit.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
You don't know.
You can never know. You will never understand.
Just making
No,
a
but
quick note to
honestly-
myself in chat.
But honestly, I think it's pretty interesting the way that they have the clash of like the occult and the like whole alien sci-fi type thing. Note to self: ensure all the hot dogs and meatballs for $2. So long at
I was on point. Go away, Des.
I
We do need that. We do need that shirt.
I agree that it's like an interesting conflict to have in this anime. It's also kind of the lowest stakes conflict.
True.
It obviously plays a part in the aliens when they come after Okarun instead of after Ayase again. And then why they took so much interest in Arya as well, because she got the yokai power. But I don't know, I just also think it's funny that like everybody, like if you believe in aliens, that's all you believe there are. Like it's only aliens, it's not ghosts. Or if you believe in ghosts, it's only ghosts. And anything that looks alien-like, it's just another type of ghost. The occult, like those two halves of the occult apparently are not symbiotic.
No, not allowed.
They can't both exist. It must be one or the other. And I do find that to be just like a funny little tension point. I also just think it helps push a lot of the narrative along, with the grandma being like, oh, like the mantis alien staying in the house and being like, no, that's what does she call it? Kappa?
Yeah, she
Right?
calls it a kappa.
Yeah, she calls it a kappa, and she's like, it's just a kappa. And it's like, there's a alien spaceship taking a cow into the sky and leaving, and Grandma's like, yeah, it's still a kappa. Alright.
Just a kappa. Not allowed
Just a
to be
kappa.
anything else.
It's just, I mean, like, and we know that Grandma gets her powers from, like, the local god of that area, and so I wonder if, like, that's part of the deal is, like, oh, maybe, you know, the grandma's not allowed to recognize anything but yokai and spirits and humans, right? Like, she can't recognize sentient life from other worlds besides just what Earth has to offer. I enjoy it a lot, though.
I enjoy it a lot as well. I think the whole like occult versus like aliens thing is fucking hilarious. And I love how it brought our two main characters together, because you have this one kid, you have Okarun, who's like constantly being bullied for this kind of shit. But then but he's still like rather loud and proud about the fact that he's really into fucking aliens. But then you have this other girl, like our fuck, I forgot her name.
Arya?
Aria. No, not Aria. Not the pink hair girl.
Momo, Ayase.
Ayase, thank you.
Oh, Ayase. Okay, sorry, my bad.
And then we have Ayase, who is very quiet about her interest in the spirits because she got bullied about it and all of that. But she still holds that very near and dear to her heart, and she's like, she has her group of friends, and she's not super popular, but she's not bullied at school every day kind of thing. So you have her coming in, bringing Okarun out of his shell, giving him friendship, giving him social acceptance, and giving him a space to be able to be loud and proud about his interests. And at the same time, you have Okarun giving Ayase a space where she can be safe and still loved and still feel that acceptance, and allowing her to open up and give love to the thing that she had to be quiet about for so long. And so together you see them growing more as people, you see them being in touch with who they are, you see them coming together as like friends first, and then also having a crush on each other. because of those two reasons, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really cute. I think that's really wholesome.
Oh, I like it a lot. And I like that they're like, well, we both kind of fucked each other over that night, so I guess we're stuck together.
When I first recommended it before, I hadn't watched it, but we chose Sailor Moon, so I decided to watch it in my free time that week, and my first thought was, I don't know if that anime was gonna be allowed after all. Nah, we brought it in.
Yeah, it's here.
It's here.
It is popular for a reason. And like we kind of
Yes.
said at the beginning of the episode, all of the like triggering content within it is there, and it happens, but it's also like there for a reason. It's not just there to like shock you and be like, oh my god, like that's fucked up. It's there to shock you and then have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And see like how the characters react when put in those situations and how they move past those situations too, right? Like the balls thing, it's funny. But also like somebody took his balls without his consent. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of fucked up. They treated him like a cat or a dog. They just took his balls.
They just took his
Oh,
balls.
And don't forget the alien's response when he said, "Why's it got to be mine? Because yours is special."
Special. At that point, he has a special dick and ball. So, you know. I think the only thing that maybe felt excessive was that he couldn't find anything to cover himself up with during that fight. Now, they expertly never even like showed anything. There was a lot of expert placement of his like feet when he was flying in the air to not show us the dick and ball. But like, I did find that interesting. Of like, where he clothes at though? Like, not even a pair of briefs. We can't even take like a ripped curtain from a classroom. But then it gets to like, oh, they're found naked in the hallway. Him absolutely naked. All right. Which that was I think the first thing that came to mind too. At the end of that arc was they were like covered in a puddle in the hallway, and I was like, didn't they disappear mid school day? And my question was answered by the anime. Yes, they did. Which I want to know then what all the classmates thought. What was that giant puddle on the floor?
Oh dear,
that
sweet
they
baby
were
Jesus.
found naked.
Oh god, the speculation, the
Like-
rumors.
Like them being
We
found
found our
naked
first
in the
question that doesn't need an answer.
Well, them being found naked in the hallway in the middle of class, weird, and definitely worth talking about for sure. Them being found naked in the hallway in the middle of class in a huge pile or a huge puddle? We gotta address the puddle too.
Just the puddle.
Like, if I'm in that student body, I'm gonna be like, no, I know they were found naked, but they were also in a puddle of unexplained wet. What is the wet?
No. You don't need to know what the wet is.
I can hypothesize the wet. Us as the audience know the wet is just whatever weird water slime thing they were stuck in the alien ghost pseudo world. But like, the student body had to have had questions about that. Also, Arya, the most popular girl in the school, also found naked and wet. Question. So many questions.
I mean, was that part where that guy talks to Okarun to try and get, like, cause he, okay, my brain's fucking fried.
He wants Okarun to set him up
There
with
was,
Momo.
yes, that part. Was that before or after that?
Before.
Okay, so there were
That-
already different rumors flying around.
Yes, that was before Arya kind of joined the team, and because that was before Okarun got his ball back, and then them getting taken by the aliens. He had one ball.
I just still find hilarious.
Yeah, because
How
the first
much-
time that rumor spread was what we talked about earlier, where she said shit that then you see her inner monologue, like, I shouldn't have said it. I was a dick. I know I'm the dick. How do I fix it? That initial rumor is what led to that fight that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of last thing we see of the season from her is being like, I shouldn't have lied. I spread those rumors, and then walking away, and we never see her again for the rest of the season. Again, like I there are little bits of character growth, which is why, like, I say I hate Arya, but like, I just don't have enough of her besides the annoying shit.
Yeah.
There's not enough of Gigi where I'm like, he's also just kind of annoying right now. We'll see. We'll see where the character growth takes us, because they were in the title sequence, so that tells me these are important reoccurring characters. They are going to be in season 2. Gigi for sure, because of where we left off. But then Arya, I'm like, they can't just give her the silky power and then turn it off. Like, she's got to stay around now. I just hope she
Yeah.
gets over her weird infatuation with Okarun, and also stops reading all of her dad's porn mags.
From what I know, she does get better, but
Yeah, no, the stopping of the reading of the porn mags would be nice.
Yeah. I don't know, that's another thing that doesn't, like, have a lot of, doesn't make a lot of sense in my brain about her, as she's so popular, and she knows, like, being popular, especially in Japan, is this very demure. It's like, you need to come off as very demure, very mindful, right? Like, not to be that mean, but, like, that is, like, her outward persona. She's very demure, very ditzy, very popular. But she spends all of her time home alone, basically reading porn mags in the middle of the night and watching porn on her dad's, like, TV. And, like, what is that? How is she able to socialize normally and also have, like, porn brain rot? I want to know how that works. Because, like, it doesn't work in my head. I hope her and Gigi... Arya and Gigi could be a good couple. He is very tall, very athletic. Arguably, probably more her type than Okarun. I think they could make a lovely ditzy couple together and fuck off into the sunset so we never have to hear from them again. Be great.
I just love that frickin' Ayase's friends. The moment they get even the inkling that she likes Okarun,
Oh yeah, they're on top
it's
of it.
they immediately start playing fucking Wingman.
Yeah, they're like, we got you.
What was I gonna say?
Say it with your full chest.
I'm trying to like remember. My thoughts have been a bit all over the place today.
Retrace your steps.
I just like the progression for Okarun. He went from the nerd that everyone makes fun of to still a nerd, and people will still make fun of him, but he's a lot more liked the longer the series was going. And the one that was seen as the popular dude starts to get seen as the weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Got role reversed right there. Motherfucker didn't even know how to process that. The dude, I like that they got that one, the one that was boxing him. What was that fucker's name?
The mantis one? The mantis shrimp?
Yeah. He legit had boxing gloves.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't have it like a name, did he?
All I know is of the joke, like the...
They kept calling him something.
He
All I
had
know
a
for him
name,
is-
but like he wasn't important enough for us to remember the name.
It's... I don't know what his name is. All I know is the one scene of him saying, like, something about attend his fucking wiener or some shit. He made a wiener joke.
Can we talk about their blood being milk?
That's fucking hilarious.
Because that just came back to me. I got so distracted by the other shit that happened after that arc, I forgot about the blood being milk.
So the official name of the mantis shrimp is Mr. Mantis Shrimp. He was also called Gig Work, which I do remember the Serpo calling him.
The gig worker.
Yes, but his legitimate name, from what I see, is Mr. Mantis Shrimp.
Mr. Mantis Shrimp it is. We a sleepy bunch today.
Look, I don't know about y'all, but I am recovering. We were up till what, like 1 a.m. playing Rivals?
Jesus Christ, guys.
Des,
Yep.
Kilo, and and then I had to stay awake a little bit longer to get my Genshin and Nikki dailies done.
Hey,
And then
you
I
know what?
woke up at
I slept like a
noon.
baby because I got my first MVP last night.
Nice. Nice, Zilo.
for-
Good work.
As for as the thing I say I'm worst at, I finally get an MVP.
You did it. Baby's first MVP as a 4.
You didn't have to say that. It's good. If you guys don't already know, join us Fridays for Rivals. We play together.
Honestly, it's probably the only game you'll get Nova in on instantly.
Yep.
The easiest game for us to do collabs on is definitely Rivals.
Absolutely. Probably because we're all already playing it.
It's fun, and it like games like that are people with ADD and ADHD's best friend.
Honestly, fuck.
There's too fucking much going on.
So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify.
Well, we have
Does
like what 20 minutes left of the
I
podcast.
did say at the beginning, I did say at the beginning that I wanted to touch on it a little bit more because I mean, it was like when I tell you, there's not a lot of things that make me cry. I don't cry. I shed a tear during the fucking replay of the life of the acrobatic Silky.
That was fucked up.
That was a fucking gut punch.
I was like, I realized once I realized, I was like, oh, this is the Silky, right? The memories, and then I was like, this is gonna be real fucked up. Because it starts off with her like waking up, turning off the alarm, and grabbing money, and I was like, oh, she was a prostitute.
Yeah.
And then it went to, oh, she was a prostitute with a small child. Oh no. And then lo and behold, that ending of her life. Jesus Christ.
Ugh, not even
They-
her life. Like you see the dude carry the kid away.
Yeah.
And,
Yup.
like you know, they don't say it, they don't talk about it, but you know.
You
Yeah.
know.
You know the life awaiting that kid now.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I again, this is where I think like kudos are due for DanDaDan as an anime, where like they didn't shy away from like this idea that like sex workers exist, because they do, but also like they weren't shaming her for being a sex worker, let alone a single mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then on top of that, making her into like, she's not a perfect victim, but in this case, in this scenario, like all she was doing was for her kid, and she like gets taken away and just like fucking destroyed in this fight to keep her kid safe, and then you like it ends with her dying and realizing like not only is she never going to see her kid again, but yeah, like they touched on now not just the sex worker side of thing, but sex trafficking and human trafficking, and like I don't think I've seen an anime really touch on that and do it right. Not to say that DanDaDan did it 100% right, but I think like they didn't do it badly. You know, I think they did it about as good as one can do it without like explicitly following the life of that little girl, which I'm not ready for.
Yeah, no. But the Silky story was definitely, it was heartbreaking. And then at the end, you can come to understand why the Silky was so obsessed and needing that healing. And then that moment with Arya at the end of it all, it became extremely touching. And I think like that's the only moment that I really came to like Arya. And I swear to fucking God, I hoped that she had like a come to Jesus moment where she humbled herself as a person and calmed the fuck down a little bit, but nope.
No, there is no calming the fuck down with Arya. I think we've established that. She is God's princess.
It goes back, like, the way that scene is written, the way it plays out, the way, like, the weight that's behind it is just round of applause to the fucking writer.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
It doesn't take you out of the story, but damn, for a second it breaks your heart.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. The story writers did something absolutely fantastic. Like, the story writers for DanDaDan know what they're doing, and that's really, really appreciated. I wouldn't necessarily call it, like, Oda levels of writing genius kind of thing, because Oda is Apex, but at the same time, it is the best writing in anime that I have seen in a good long while.
Yeah.
No, yeah. A lot of, like, the new gens... we might catch them hate for this, but a lot of new gens now get so much hype for some very basic writing. Like, they ride hard on the tropes, and they're like, oh my god, this... And then they always try to swing at One Piece, because it's the longest lasting thing, manga that's around for shoujo or shonen, and you know, fucking, and everyone's trying to be like, oh, we finally got past One Piece. Like, yeah, but you only lasted like 2-3 years if you're lucky. Because that's the biggest thing now of manga. For manga now, I don't think we're ever gonna see another long-term manga.
No.
I feel like we're lucky if we get 3 to 5 years per series.
Yeah.
I don't think modern audiences have the attention span to give an anime the lifespan that One Piece has.
They don't have enough for something that lasts 3 years. They don't even have the reading comprehension.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I would also argue, though, a lot of modern day manga stories that we are getting don't need the One Piece treatment. if that makes sense, or like the Naruto treatment. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't need to go beyond 3 years either to tell the full story, right? DanDaDan probably could wrap up in the next season or two. Like I don't see it really going past 3 seasons. And I think if they tried to push it past that, it's too long. Demon Slayer.
It's anime. It's manga. I think is almost done.
Yeah, I
think they're finally entering the last one.
Look, I'm a Demon Slayer dick writer. All right, I love it. I think it's really good. It's been stretched out a little too far in the anime. It could have been condensed down a little bit. Am I always happy to get Demon Slayer content? Yes. But am I also happy that the story's like finally ending and we're getting like 2 movies out of it instead of 2 more seasons? Yeah. Like I think the movies are the right way to wrap it up because each season can be condensed down to 1 movie. So I don't know, like DanDaDan is in that nice sweet spot right now, but like if they stretch it out to be or try to stretch it out to be like a One Piece length thing, there's just no way it's gonna go. Jujutsu Kaisen, a lot of people got upset about the ending of that. But also, like, it could only go on for so long. The writer didn't even like Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I'm also a JJK dick writer to an extent, but like, even the mangaka doesn't like JJK, so it can only go but so long.
It genuinely felt like for JJK at the last bit, he tried so hard just to fit in all of the everything, the things that everybody seemingly wanted to see by the end, and unfortunately, it just made it too cluttered of a mess.
Yeah, but like, and that's I think the longer series goes, a lot of these modern series go on, the closer you get to the clusterfuck endings, right? Attack on Titan kind of got a little bit of a clusterfuck ending. It got stretched. I'm not an Attack on Titan dick writer, but like it got stretched out a little bit longer than I think it needed to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sword Art Online. I'm definitely not an SAO dick writer. I hate that anime. It got stretched out for far too long. Like we don't need things now. Like One Piece is an excellent story, and it is an epic. It is a saga, so it needs to be long. We just aren't getting any stories that are these epics, like the 90s and early 2000s used to give us. Sailor Moon was like an epic, and now we have Sailor Moon Crystal, which is honestly I would argue the most peak version of Sailor Moon. It has condensed down and taken out a lot of the filler that is just minor character growth, so that we just get the major character growth and move on. So I don't think we're gonna get any flack for saying shit like that. I think it's okay to say like modern day anime just isn't the same as it used to be, and it kind of sucks it doesn't go on for as long as it used to. But it's also kind of just the nature of the stories we're being told now. I also don't know if I have the patience for an epic story outside of
it just
what
I
I've
don't know,
seen
a
of
lot
One
of
Piece.
stuff doesn't feel as like I feel like the big thing for DanDaDan that helps it isn't sort of stuck to a lot of the same shit that so many other animes are kind of trapped into now. Like, it feels like everyone else is sort of fallen into a weird box, and they feel like they need to follow through with that. But DanDaDan being a thing where the author was just told, you know what? Don't think too hard on it. Go with what you feel like works. We'll work the story around it.
Yeah.
So it gives it a nice fresh breath of air.
Yeah. DanDaDan is refreshing as a whole. Things about it are refreshing for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But like as a whole for an anime, it really felt like it came out of left field and said, here's some new shit, take it or leave it, and everybody's like, we will take this. Slam the credit card down. I want the DanDaDan Fortnite skins, because that's gonna have to happen at some point.
King of the Hill's getting in first, apparently.
I looked it up while watching
Apparently
it,
Kaiju
and,
number 8 is already in, and we're supposed to be getting Demon Slayer at some point, but like, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Demon Slayer compared to Kaiju number 8, they could do a lot more with the Kaiju abilities compared to Demon Slayer.
Well, it's in right now because Godzilla, Kaiju.
Yeah.
But regardless, like I foresee DanDaDan getting a Fortnite collab if the creators of DanDaDan are copyright owners of it are open to working with Fortnite on it.
I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'm still waiting on the fucking Night One Piece collab that was supposed to come out a year ago.
The which one?
Supposedly.
Fortnite one.
Was that a confirmed
there's supposed to
collab
be
or
a-
was that a speculative collab?
I mean,
I
the
don't
only
know.
thing I remember for One Piece on Fortnite,
But
I
it
don't
was
know if
everywhere on the
fan-made.
internet, so
I don't know if it was fan made or if it was a legit thing. It was just a little map. You get shot onto it. You're trying to destroy the other person's boat, and then whoever destroys the other one wins.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I remember with One Piece and Fortnite. It was more for like the live action.
Yeah, I see a lot of like fan concept stuff of it, and a lot of people asking for it, and it being like a conceptual thing. But I don't see anything about One Piece as far as like a confirmed collab slash
well,
a.
cool. That means I can stay Fortnite retired.
Demon Slayer is confirmed. They have plans for Demon Slayer for Fortnite. It's been confirmed. It just there's no like release date yet, which is so frustrating.
They're probably trying to figure out what, because for a lot of these collabs, they like to add something other than just the skin. Especially for these anime ones. They like to add a power or two, but they're probably banging their head on the wall thinking, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah, well, when the water and fire and other bullshit doesn't actually exist, apparently, the way that we see it in the manga.
I fucking
and
hate the author for that. I wish she just
some
stayed
stupid
quiet.
shit. But again, like getting back to it though, I foresee DanDaDan in a Fortnite collab just because I think you could do a lot with like okarun's skin. I could see being like, oh, like you could get some wearable or some item thing and be able to have like minor psychic powers, or like the hands the way that Momo does and have like limited charge. They figured out how to put JJK and fucking Hollow Purple into Fortnite. I think they can figure out how to put some of the DanDaDan stuff in. Cause like Okarun, you could just put the mask on as like the thing. The hands, you could probably get Arya as like a boss and have like a coin for her or something, or medallion. Like, look, if anybody at Fortnite HQ, Epic Games HQ is watching, hit me up. I got you for DanDaDan collab ideas. But like, it feels kind of like a perfect anime where it's really popular. Season 2 comes out in like a year or so. It'd be perfect timing to put it out with a Fortnite collab. And the fucking, like, it's cute and silly and weird and all the things that Fortnite loves. All the things that Fortnite players love, myself included. So, I don't know. I want it. Give me the damn cat granny.
Yep.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left in this week's episode. Do we have any closing remarks?
4.5 out of 5. I love this anime.
Hmm.
That'd be my closing remark.
I'm in agreement.
Also, before we actually end, we do need homework for next week.
True.
Whose turn is it? I've lost track. We've done me,
Uh,
Desi, Zelo. We're on episode 4, so there had to have been me, Desi.
we
Zelos.
started with, I think it was a Draco pick.
Okay,
right?
so it's
Yeah.
Last
it's
season, and we
Nova's
figured that everybody
pick.
starts-
Damn, it's Nova's pick. Fuck.
Me when it was
Okay,
my
really
turn.
quickly, just to throw this out real not the next episode, but February 9th episode, Draco and I thought about doing a Valentine's Day special rom-com.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
Why wouldn't we? Oh, I see. And not the 16th, because the 9th comes first.
Yes.
Yeah, and if it did land on the 14th, I would have been like, y'all probably have fucking plans. I'm not gonna hold y'all here for this. I could be a dick. I could have done that.
Well, the only thing that's happening Valentine's weekend is Katsucon, and I'm probably not even gonna go. I'm a little burnt out on Katsucon. I've gone like past 4 or 5 years that it's been run, so I'm good.
The one we have written down for that, open for suggestions, but Draco threw out The Dangers in My Heart.
I have not heard of that, so
I have not heard of that one either.
Okay, if you haven't heard of that one, if we do choose to do that one, a special paired.
What was that? What did I suggest again?
The Dangers in My Heart.
The Dangers in My Heart. Why do I was there and my brain's fried.
The Dangers.
Well,
in
Yeah,
See?
you threw it out there, and I was
yeah,
like, oh, I
this
fucking
one.
love that one.
This one, yeah.
Yes.
No, this one, that'll work. That'll work.
I feel
100%.
like I've seen clips of this show.
It's not bad. It's the first couple episodes and the mentality of the male lead. That
It looks.
may shock you a little bit,
It looks a little horny.
but not from what I remember. It's not too bad. The
Okay,
girl's really ditzy, and the guy is like into the occult. I believe, like he's into like
Okay, just.
not necessarily the occult, like paranormal or anything, but like dark.
Oh, what, the
gothic.
one I
I'm,
suggested?
I'm not saying like horny, like it's gonna bother me. You fucking just watched DanDaDan. It just looked like.
Oh yeah, no.
I just like, are we sure this is a romantic pic? Because the like fourth picture that shows up is the girl with double fisting 2 giant things of ice cream with like. You can know
Yeah,
where I'm
she's a
going with
glutton.
that. Honestly, same girly.
Okay, so
Um,
considering next month is February and it is the month of love, I'm also going to go. Yes. I'm also gonna go down that route. I have one in mind. It's not a like. Oh no, that was Desiree's pick. Never mind. I keep thinking about all of like the focused anime that I've watched, and I was like, oh, I could recommend My Happy Marriage, but no, that was literally Desiree's pick. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do Apothecary Diaries.
All right,
Ooh, good one.
I've heard good things.
It is good. It's not like there is romantic
one.
tension. Yeah, there is romantic tension in the anime, but it's not like romance forward kind of thing. It's really good. It's really good.
It's been on my watch list because it looks that good. I just have not gone around to it, so this is perfect.
I've
Mhm.
seen some of it.
Oh,
So-
I didn't know there was a second season.
Yeah, it just came out not too long ago. So a little TLDR about Apothecary Diaries. Basically, a apothecary or a young girl who was raised to be an apothecary by her grandfather gets brought into the imperial court. This does take place in China. So she gets brought into the imperial court as part of like the concubines and that whole kind of system. With her apothecary knowledge, she gradually works her way up the ladder into serving one of the imperial concubines. And a lot of wackiness ensues. She solves a lot of mysteries. She becomes the talk of the town. And yeah, it's just all around really great. It's very episodic, which is a wonder as to why I love it so much, but it is very episodic and it's just great. It's very Mystery of the Week-esque.
I am happy to watch it. It sounds very fun.
That's cool.
As for DanDaDan, I give it. Honestly, I am comfortable, even without knowing the ending of DanDaDan. I am very, very comfortable with putting it at S tier, even fucking double S tier. I fucking love DanDaDan. What's episodic? Episodic means that the start, middle, and end of a quote unquote arc is contained in one episode.
I would say DanDaDan for me is a solid A tier right now. I think it's up there, and I have been singing its praises all night, but like to compare to like Desi's pick last week of like My Happy Marriage, which had me crying multiple times, versus DanDaDan, where I haven't quite hit that level yet, and just a handful of like tiny grievances. I'm just gonna put it at A tier. It's like a very close to S tier A tier. And I think season 2 will probably push into S tier for me just right now. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. But like, oh man, my final thoughts are just like, yes, keep in mind the trigger warnings that are associated with DanDaDan. But if you can get past those triggers, it's so worth the watch. You're gonna have a good time with it.
Yeah, 4 out of 5, A tier. Solid story, like the character designs, good growth for both of our main characters. Obviously, our side cast at the beginning can kind of make or break each episode, but for the most part, outside of the friggin' the pink hair bitch and Gigi, everyone else we got is a great addition to the cast. So, yeah, solid 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Also, Nova, Rhea opened up emergency commission, so if you want to reach out to her,
Cool.
she is available.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. But with that being...
Oh, no, go ahead.
No. I'm gonna do the closer. You go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I just sent in a commission form for Rhea, that was all.
Okay. But with that being said, my friends, I want to thank you all for showing up. I want to thank you all for showing out. Y'all are absolutely amazing and beautiful people for listening to us ramble for 2 hours. You can always find us and follow us at our handles anywhere and everywhere on the internet. From right to left, we have our fearless leader at Draco Storm, our brave captain at Zelo_Wolf, our absent but always in our hearts wonderful Neko Mommy at Desiree Lovely, our fearless and powerful siege wagoness at Nixie Royd, and myself, your friendly neighborhood alien at Mama Nova VT. Please stick around for the raid. We are going to be rating.
I'm looking, I don't know. Anybody have any suggestions?
Close is live.
I was gonna jokingly say a big name streamer, but
Let's do it.
Lee
chickened
and
out
Lai
last
is
time, don't do
live,
that.
but she has followers only on, so that might not work.
I wonder if we can raid into the Russian Badger.
Worth a try. I mean, you just type it in and then we find out.
Screw it. Let me give it a shot. This man is hilarious. I recommend watching his videos if you haven't. Him and his crew are always a joy to watch. One of the people in his close circle that is almost always in a video, Heavenly. He is also a VTuber now as well. You'll normally catch him with like a lot of the VShojo streamers.
He also
just
has
hilarious
arguably
all
one of
around.
the best gamer subs flavors out there.
Yeah, let's see. It's starting raid.
Let's
we can raid into
go!
him. Let's see if it goes through.
All right.
But if not,
if
we'll
it lets
have...
you, if you let you put the raid command in, you can read into them.
Okay.
They haven't
So,
closed their
thank you all
raids.
so very much for stopping on by. We appreciate it. Apothecary Diary, right? Is it Apothecary Diary?
Diaries, yeah.
That is the homework. So, other than that, stay safe, stay weird. May the power of UWU protect you. Peace.
Peace out, Lake Trouts.
Like,
Raid went through. Holy shit.